Hello everyone, Gen here, and today I'm going to be talking about fears. Everyone's afraid of something, no one's afraid of nothing. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself, FDR, which you may not agree with FDR as a president. I don't think he was the best, but really that's a lot of opinion. But that is a good quote, and everyone is afraid of something. ISIS, Ebola, nuclear war, being involved in a freak accident. All fears. Also climate change, which I don't disagree that climate change is real. I just don't know if it's dangerous. I don't think it is dangerous. It's actually probably not dangerous, but that's not really too relevant. But people do naturally look for something to be afraid of. They say they don't want to be afraid of anything, but they do actually. People naturally look for things to be afraid of, to be anxious about. It's natural, and it's kind of annoying too. I'd prefer not to be afraid of things, but it is for people's own good. I mean, if people weren't afraid of anything, they'd just walk up to dangerous snakes, spiders, woolly mammoths back in prehistoric days. But people don't react so well to modern technology in the appropriate way. If you're approached at high speeds by a car, a lot of people just freeze because, naturally, being approached by something at high speeds, they freeze. But, yeah, then they get run over, so it's not a good idea. So you have to train your mind not to fear old things in the way that you would, and to fear modern things in the way that you should. Which is complicated and confusing, to say the very least. Also, there are poisons, but I don't think too many people are afraid of poisons. There are also a bunch of phobias that I find odd, but I guess I do have a phobia that some people might consider odd. Apophobia. No, I'm not afraid of monkeys. That's not even the right kind of primate. Apes don't have tails. Anyway, the point is, it's not a fear of apes, it's a fear of bees, which people might consider irrational, but then again, I would consider agoraphobia. That's cats, I'm pretty sure, to be irrational. I have 3 pet cats. I'm not afraid of cats by any means, but we're all afraid of something, and we're more afraid than ever, which we shouldn't be, really. There are fewer dangers to life. People think the ancients had it so good. No, I don't think they did. There were a whole bunch of diseases. I'm not saying that all religion is bad, but there were plenty of mystics and magical people looking for answers that were lunatic. Like, spontaneous generation is a good one. Things just appear from non-living things. Life. Yeah, that was shown to be false pretty well, and not surprising. No one really thinks it to be true anymore. But your chances of being in an outstanding thing like being killed by ISIS or being infected with Ebola, very low, actually. More Americans have been killed by drone strikes than Ebola in the US, and quite a few people you hear about on the news survived, except Thomas Eric Duncan. He, unfortunately, did not survive. That's pretty sad. But it's no reason to be afraid of Ebola, especially considering that the outbreak is over. In Dallas, at least. They have people on Ebola watching, New York, but it's still not a huge danger. You don't infect until after the symptoms have manifested. And ISIS and Ebola are not illegitimate fears. They're certainly rational to fear, but you should deal with them rationally. Is ISIS frightening with their beheading videos? Yeah, they are. Are they a huge threat? They're locked in several ground wars. Syrian rebels, the Kurds, and they've threatened Russia, I think. I don't know if they're actually going to attack. They might be that stupid. I don't know. Really. But there are dangers that are less apparent, and people don't really regard them. Heart attacks. Those are nasty. Heart disease in itself is nasty. I would never want to have that. But it's not something people consider because it's not something you develop instantaneously or from any real one main source you can point your finger at. You could say unhealthy eating and you'd probably be right. But it's not a thing that happens, boom, all of a sudden. That's not like being killed in a car crash or being involved in an act of terrorism. And the government expands to try to take away people's rights, and often it does take away people's rights. That may sound like just a libertarian thing, but it's been moving farther and farther towards statism, which I don't think is a good thing. You might disagree. I don't know. Anyway, the government is in massive financial trouble. We are trillions in debt. And that's not it's not really the kind of thing that happens all in one go. We don't all of a sudden one day go completely fine, no debt, to bankrupt. It's a thing that happens over time. Which is why a lot of people are less afraid of it, but it's really one of the bigger things to be anxious about. And people see the odds against them as much higher than they actually are. After the movie theater shooting I'm not sure what state that was in, I think Connecticut. I don't have anything against it, and I'm certainly not against anyone whose family was involved in that. Certainly not, but I, for the life of me, can't remember where it was. I'm sorry. But after 9/11, many people did not fly, they drove. So, well, guess what? That year there were a ton more traffic deaths, like 1,000, I think. And was your chance of being killed in traffic any higher? No, not really. But people think that flying is dangerous because plane crashes are something that happens so rarely they're sensationalized. Car crashes are far more common. No, not really anything about them on the news. Are you more likely to be killed in a car crash than in a plane crash? Doubtless. Are you likely to be more afraid of a car crash? Definitely not. Anyway, the media does definitely exaggerate threats. It's kind of their job. They want more views, they want to be heard, so they exaggerate threats. Way beyond the point a rational person would. People said, if Ebola comes to the US, we're all gonna die. And it came, and it went. And I'm not dead. How about you? Yeah, I didn't think so. I don't know if I've run over the gameplay or not. Hold on. Okay, no. Yes, I have run over the gameplay, but that's alright. Anyway, it's really not as big a danger as you think, probably. Unless it's car accidents, in which case, yes, that is dangerous. But sharks, also not very dangerous. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you later, everyone. Game453 out.